here's the new one. Nice, shiny new damper plate.
Be about time to have some proper cushions in our main bunk. You're coming too.
What started as a dream is now our reality. 7 years ago, we poured her ballast, raised every frame, cut every plank, and named her Rediviva. Ready for life back on the ocean, this year we're determined to set sail.
Would you look at that? I'd say that's the making of a fine cruising vessel.
We're Salt and Tar, and this is our life. We're happy to share, and thanks for joining us. The bunk extension's complete. Now we need some hatches.
Keep your blade speed up, or else it's gonna just really make the cut jagged. So you drill one point, that gives you those two lines, and you drill that point, that gives you those two lines.
Okay.
Garrett taught me a new trick. Flip the blade around on the jigsaw and cut backwards until I have enough room to get the saw the right way up against the hull.
Alright, give me a 2 14s and a 10.
2 14s and a 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 17s and a 15.
17s and a 15. There you go.
Thank you. A lot is ready for paint up here.
Yeah, we'll need to do another big putty session.
Yeah.
And just go over all the little screw holes and stuff.
And I vacuumed and we both cleaned everything earlier this morning. And then just the one project, sawdust is now everywhere.
Yeah.
I think we're less than a month to go. I mean, it's March, what's today? March 12th, I think. And yeah, so April 12th was our tentative, our goal date. So, but now we're just April.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to stick to the date when we had multiple large major issues come up with the motor that we weren't expecting. So, and parts have been a pain.
It's
because
really more that than anything else.
Yeah, finally
shipping.
Take all the time to track down the parts and get the numbers and everything, and finally like, okay, this is the right part, and then order it, and then get an email a couple days later saying well, it's not available for another month or something like that. So that's been a big delay getting parts and stuff. And
then we also had one show up and it was damaged. So then there was that
then we had to send it back and send in
It's just
videos
shipping.
and pictures and blah 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 blah. So
Little things turn into big things.
we still don't even have our transmission parts. So hopefully they'll be here somewhat soon. I have no idea, but.
One of our parts arrived, the new damper plate.
All right, back to working on the engine. 2.6. Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Sweet.
Yay.
So a lot of damper plates, if you replace them, like a lot of them have like big kind of adapter plates to adapt onto the flywheel that actually are larger than the opening on the bell housing. So if that's the case, you have to remove the entire bell housing, which typically means removing your motor mounts, removing your starter, like possibly removing the heat, removing the heat exchanger because that's all connected to it. And
oh, that would be such a pain.
probably the exhaust.
Oh no.
So, but
Yay.
fortunately, this one fits in. Here's the new one. Everything is super tight, really nice.
No noise being made there at all.
And if you can get the camera in here, I'll show you. Our old one is real janky.
Eventually, when the rest of the transmission replacement parts come in, we're going to be taking a trip down to Garrett's hometown, which is where Christian lives, in Los Osos. And typically we say Garrett's from Morro Bay or San Luis Obispo because those are two towns people usually know. But actually, most of his childhood was in Los Osos, which is a very small town, and Christian happens to live there now. So we'll actually you'll get to meet him in person and crack open the transmission, and hopefully it'll be straightforward with an expert's help over our shoulders, and we can get that all done.
I think I'm going to go ahead and start with just pulling the exhaust off. I don't have to, but it's kind of in the way. Oops. Always mind the starter motor, boss. Changed my mind. Kind of forgot that I used the gasket maker goop to put this back on. It's kind of adhesive too, so it kind of sticks it on there. And now that I remember that, if I take it off, it's going to rip that gasket material apart, and then I'm going to have to clean it, and I'm going to have to reapply. And I think that's more work than just working around the exhaust. Sprayed this whole thing with penetrating oil when I first removed it and just kind of let it sit for a while, so I think that helped quite a bit. I have to say I'm continuously happy about the engine access and how this all turned out when we designed and built the interior kind of around the engine, because I've been having to spend a lot more time than I would have imagined working on this engine lately. And I mean, this project in particular, I mean, a lot of our previous boats, I would have had to remove the entire engine to do this. There was just, the access it wouldn't have been possible. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah. This thing is not so good anymore. Well, so far they look like they match. New one, everything is tight, no play, no slop whatsoever. Okay, Got my little torque wrench. Just gonna kind of get these in hand tightened with a little bit of Loctite. Got them snugged up. Now, oops, don't need that. Now we can torque them. Look at that. Nice, shiny new damper plate. Nice and solid. Nothing rattling around on that. Okay, so one step closer. Now we just gotta wait for the rest of all the parts to come in and transmission rebuild.
So my wonderful parents are letting us convert their living room into our sewing room once again. So we still have the starboard settee cushions to do, the backrest for the port quarter. We got some more foam to let it breathe for the bunk extension up forward in the boat, which it's basically now a V-berth, so we can call it that instead of the funk, which is what we were calling it, just forward bunk. So we still have to make patterns for that and then do the legitimate cushions. Garrett's gonna be my foam cutting man once again, and while he's cutting my first cushion out, which gives me what I trace onto the fabric to start stitching, I'm gonna practice a little because it's been quite a few months, so there might be a little bit of relearning to do. And we got Foreman Swab, hot on the job. Yeah.
Like riding the back?
I think so. Bottom plate. One.
Schwab.
After getting back to doing this, I think doing the sail covers is gonna be like, oh, it's so much easier than I thought.
Yeah, I think you're gonna fly through the sail covers. Oh, wait, this swoop.
What did you do?
Nothing. Oh yeah, who's styling now? That's right. That's right, Swab. Good boy.
Look how cute you are.
getting the wrap, which will help us when we wrap the foam up. Then we can hook up the vacuum and suck it really small and then squish it into here. So this is cushion cover number 1 for today out of 3. Oh, that's the end of the roll?
Yeah.
Shh.
You don't have another roll.
No.
Shove it in. Great success.
So I didn't realize my roll of that stuff was almost out, but Garrett squished it on in. And this funny little corner turned out just fine, just sewing it like normal.
Barely got away with that corner. All right, last cushion of the day.
Last cushion of the day. Until we get more foam.
So we got the 2 for the port quarter berth.
Starboard.
Or starboard. Yeah, that's right. Starboard quarter berth done. This is the back for the kind of the aft end of the dinette on the port quarter berth.
Trying to remember if I did the corners and then figured out how I folded
yeah, you
it.
kind of like
Yeah, I kind of fanned it
Yeah.
like that.
nice.
Cool. Yes. No break in the stitching. Yeah, that should be perfect. Garrett's my foam wrestler.
Such a pain without that. We got spoiled with the like the vacuum seal deal with that silk wrap, whatever you call it.
Yeah, when you just plug the vacuum on it, it's so easy. We took, an overcast. It was going to be more rainy, but it really just spit a little bit here and there. So, but still a good day just to camp out here and get it done. And now the working. Work it, Garrett. up next.
All right, the weekend has finally arrived, and we've borrowed my parents' car, and we are going to be driving down to Garrett's hometown, where a follower, Christian, who you guys will get to meet, he's got a whole shop at his place, and he's invited us over to take the transmission, and all of the transmission parts have arrived, so we're gonna rebuild the transmission at his place. So it should be a fun little road trip.
Thanks for watching. See ya next week.
Look at your butt.
What? What's up with my butt? What?
It's all sawdusty. You got a dirty butt. See how easy the thingy, bobby, whatever stuff. Cameras.
That's very precise.
It's very
Precise?
precise.
Precise?
It's the most precise thing I've ever heard in my life.
What was the plan here?
Starting to lose our minds.
Work on my coffee table.
Yeah, you want some credit for your work?
I want some credit. See if I can do this.
DIY, put together your table?
Yeah. Since Ruth and Garrett often have to come to my aid for other projects. So I can't screw and nail straight.
Look at that thumbnail, girl.
Yeah, well, you see the
Now
difference
you
is
just look
that...
like a snail.
Now you just look like a snail. You see, the thing is that I actually am doing the work. I'm not just like, oh wait, let me take my out. Now take my picture.
Quick, give me a tool and let me perk my butt out for the thumbnail. Oh wait, I don't actually want to do it.
Girl builds boat alone. Oh yeah, like my husband's here too, but don't worry about him. Oh my goodness.